to formulate a diet for riders, I ask them to the first thing they need to do is to tell me, what are you feeding your horse now? And they say, oh, well, I'm feeding it with one of those yellow dippers, you know, the ones you get from the feed company, and 2 globs of molasses, and I think a Vegemite jar of the other. Now, none of these things are standard international units of measurement and don't constitute good nutrition in anybody's language. You really do need to weigh your feed and get an understanding of how much feed your horse is getting. For a horse like this one, about 16 hands, I know that she's about 540 kilos. It's also important you understand how much your horse weighs. You can get that from your vet. A lot of people have got travelling scales now. And so I know that she's going to eat around 10 to 12 kilos of feed a day. Half of that, at least by weight, has to be hay. So I like to weigh out the rest of her feed, and as she progresses through her training, I will change that. So we have the standard dipper. So these are just a type of pelleted feed, extruded feed actually. And if we put that in there, we can see that that's about 800 grams of feed. Take another type of feed, pellet this time. This is a different formulation, it's for a harder working horse, and the same volume is now about 1.2 kilos. So there's 400 grams difference in the weight of feed just coming out of the same size dipper. So you can't just use the same volume of that does not equal the same weight. And similarly, you'll know with bales of hay that some bales of hay are very heavy. Those of us that actually lift our own hay know that to be true. And some are very light. So by feeding your horses by volume and not by weight, you're doing them a serious injustice. So before you hit the keyboard and ask someone for feeding advice, make sure you're sharing with them and you know the actual weights of what you're feeding and just not how many globs.